All right, we're back with a special episode. I mean, not special. I mean, whatever. I don't know what that means.
Immediately indicting the episode.
Well, I was like, we don't really want a limited edition episode, but
this is the White Lotus strategy. They still call it a limited series.
It's
in third season, and they're like, best limited.
Who knows?
It's like, well, every series is limited. Time is
finite.
limited.
The sun will explode.
I'm a limited person.
The sun will explode before, South Park ends or whatever.
On a limited planet. Yeah.
Limited series, the show Dallas. Limited series. It's funny, too. I said special. It's like literally a reoccurring guest. I've done this podcast 4 episodes. I already have a reoccurring guest.
Very special. You're not going to believe
Very special episode.
Who you have here. Somebody who you saw
2 weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago.
Literally 2 weeks ago. But, who knows when this will come out. But we're doing movies. We're talking movies. I never talk movies on this. This is my the people want to hear me talk movies. I used to do Joe and Raanan talk movies.
And that's done?
Well, I think so. I don't know.
Okay,
yeah.
Oh, that's why you started this one.
Yeah, I mean, Joe said he didn't want to do it anymore. So what I surmised from that is I was like, I don't know if he wants to do it. Well, he was like, I don't want to do this ever again. And I'm like, I don't think he's into it.
Someone filed for divorce, and you're like, maybe we're taking a break.
Yeah, we're taking a little break. We're taking a. Yeah, he said he didn't want to ever do this again, and he'd prefer if I stopped talking to him in general. And
you're like, I don't know. I think maybe just scheduling right now.
So, but I gotta talk. We're gonna talk Oscar-nominated movies on this episode, which is exciting.
Love the Oscars.
The Oscars are so.
I love it.
Life is sad, but the Oscars. Do you find that it gives you hope?
What I love about the Oscars is they always bill it. They're like, and this is Hollywood's biggest night, and every year there's a disaster, like an overwhelming disaster.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Warren Beatty says the N-word.
Yeah. Oh, damn. The best actor punched one of the most famous comedians. Oh, we said this movie won Best Picture. The only thing that matters, it was actually another movie after we said it. Oh, damn. We forgot black people existed and only nominated white people.
It does seem particularly cursed out of any because the Golden Globes always never goes.
They're like, we can't have a host anymore. Yeah. Oh, we picked 4 hosts that have all tweeted.
It is specifically chaotic.
And they still are like the biggest night when the stars come out and Elegance takes a front row seat. And I'm like, this is a catastrophe.
They can't do bare requirements for an award show.
Yes.
No one gets punched on public television for telling a joke.
Yeah. You don't get punched. You just say the right winner. You don't bring up a winner, and then we're like, oh shit. Actually, it's like Baby.
Making it look like
mistakes for Baby.
Making it look like you did pick the white movie, but then as they're going on stage, you're like, oh no, actually.
No, I love because there are literal middle school plays that run smoother, and yet they still have this air of and this is
mental asylums run smoother. There's
catastrophic mistakes already. This one hasn't even happened.
What's the?
And they're like this woman who got nominated for Best Actress. We think she might have done an illegal thing to get nominated. Or whatever. Really? The one who was To Leslie, the movie that nobody saw.
What did she do to get?
I have no idea. But they're like, we're investigating her nomination.
Investigation.
They're literally investigating. It's already a disaster. The thing hasn't happened, and there's already no. It's awesome.
It is really amazing. I mean, you can't. Here's the thing. After the Chris Rock shit, you can't. You gotta watch. You know what I mean? It's just
I always will watch because every year
it gets worse.
Every year they fuck up in honestly an impressive way.
Very impressive.
They're the ways that they fuck up. They would fuck up with the host stuff so bad. Remember, there were years where they're like, nobody's just pass the mic.
That was a weird.
Just pass the mic.
That was a weird time because they asked one person to host.
If you win and you're on stage, we're going to give you a thing. Just say the next winner and just keep it moving.
They did that very quickly. They asked Kevin Hart to host.
Yeah.
There was a little drama, and then they immediately went to, all right, no host. Right. You could have just gone to someone else, but they're like, all right, no host ever again.
They were like, I don't know.
No human being is qualified for this role.
Bin Laden? He's dead. I don't know. They always fuck up.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of that kind of compares to the Oscars and their level of fucking up is it feels like every year with like Oprah and her book club. You know, like every year there's one of those.
Like, he turns out to like have a sex trafficking.
Yeah,
ring.
you're like, okay. She's like, oh, that guy who I picked who had the memoir about starting the orphanage. He actually did the Armenian genocide.
He actually killed the
Sorry
children.
about that.
He didn't start the orphanage. He killed the children in the orphanage.
I made him a billionaire. And I had him on my show.
And he was actually Joseph Goebbels.
Every year someone suckers Oprah.
Yeah.
It's like the easiest person to sucker.
This tear-jerking book about prostitution. And then it's like, he was a serial killer.
Was a coke addict. He's actually a coke addict, but more just a sociopath. And everything he said is a lie.
Yeah. She does have a knack. But so, yeah, I mean, it is like, it is, you know, was the Kevin Hart thing. I mean, to be fair, you're not going to expect a black comic to make a homophobic tweet from years ago. You could have never seen that coming. A homophobic joke.
Unlike you, who I'm sure they would never unearth anything.
I've looked through my Twitter. I have.
Yeah,
I've typed it. It's kind of funny because you want to be woke, so you want to look through the tweet. That's not. I guess it's not woke. It's just deleting things. I act like that's woke.
You're like, you want to be woke, so every once in a while I sift through and I delete all the slurs that I've tweeted.
You know how the Nazis were so woke when they tried to destroy all the evidence. But I have. It is funny though. I'm just typing every awful word into my Twitter and just seeing if my tweet, like you type in the N-word, just hope it's not too many. Right. Hope it's at least just like front. Hope it's not like you just hope you don't get that see more button.
Cancel your lunch plans.
You just don't want to have like see more, like press a button to have more. You just want it to all be in one.
Right. You don't want it to be buffering. Like, oh boy.
So I typed all the words, but I'm pretty good surprisingly because you know what it is. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm a bigot, right?
I know.
I thought there'd be pushback. I'm not gonna lie.
You're ready to debate.
I'd be like, no. But
I'm like, go on.
But here's what's interesting. I'm so out of touch. But the other way I'm out of touch is technologically, like a lot of old bigots. So I got on Twitter so late.
Right.
By the time I went on Twitter, like it was like a week ago. Like I knew you couldn't say the things.
Right.
You know
I know. And right. So, and you're cut from an old-fashioned cloth.
Yeah, an old Jewish garment.
An old Jewish garment, right? So it's
old-fashioned cloth, a KKK gown.
You're not tweeting that stuff.
Yeah,
you're shouting it on the street.
Yes.
You're writing it on Facebook.
Of course,
you're doing it where the elderly people.
Facebook, I've had some bad Facebook. Like we bury our sins because that was a long time. I remember one. You know how someone will like. You ever have a post from like 1982, but then some psychopath likes it and it just shows up in your feed? like I had that, and it was some post. It was my buddy just being like, it was like when Facebook just started. It was like buddy going like, man, today's such a great day, and I just literally commented like FAGGOT. I just I don't know why. I just like commented that. I just thought he was
because it was those early years, which is how old people still treat the internet. Is they're like writing a thing, not realizing everybody can read it. You know what I mean?
They think it's their diary,
right? So they're just like, holy shit, are you gay? You know what I mean? They'll just be like crazy.
The Unabomber would have been caught so quickly today because it would all have been just Facebook posts. He wouldn't realize. Comments, He's like, oh, I thought that was just to my friends.
He honestly probably would not have been caught. He would have just been boosted in the algorithm and
TikTok star.
They'd have been like, oh yeah, this is a pretty good post.
I remember one time my mom literally wrote happy birthday on Facebook, but she wanted to write it to someone. Yeah. But she just posted on her own wall. It just said happy birthday.
Right.
And then everyone thought it was her birthday. So they all started.
I ignored it the first time, but the way you're saying birthday
is it weird?
With the lisp, but you're like throwing an S in there.
That's what a lisp is. What are you crazy?
No, I know, but I was just
You're like, you're mentally handicapped and it makes you really act slowly.
It was just this one word that I've never heard you say birthday before. But
birthday.
Okay, yeah, you got it there.
Yeah, birthday.
Sorry, I feel
you're gonna get fucking canceled. I don't know, something about your list is making you really.
I'm not saying you shouldn't host the Oscars because of it. In fact, I think you should.
Something about that list really overly pronounces the S. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but
sorry, I meant RRR.
I don't know if you noticed, but your Tourette's is making you yell slurs a lot. Have you? What if someone's Tourette's, but they're also racist and yell slurs, but it wasn't the Tourette's, but they had another Tourette's.
I don't know. I mean, this is you building good excuses, if ever. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's a whole made up thing.
What were you saying?
I feel like people was. Let me just finish this bad bit. I feel like. Let me just finish this tired bit.
Go ahead.
I gotta commit.
Go ahead.
I feel like people with Tourette's.
Yeah.
It's all Twitches, and the first guy that got Tourette's, they're like, "Yeah, you're Twitch." And then also you'll probably yell stuff uncontrollably. And they're like, I will? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and then he just started yelling slurs.
Oh, sure.
And that it's like a secret amongst the Tourette's people. It's like, we don't really have that, but we can do it now.
You got to, the key, there's probably that moment with people with Tourette's when they get medicated for it, that their family members like hold their breath. And they're like, I really hope he starts. Oh boy, is he gonna shout more slurs?
Wow, the twitching stopped, but the yelling kike out loud did not.
I guess he doesn't yell it now, but he's still writing it a lot.
I guess that wasn't just.
I guess we don't have to worry about volume, but it is still the word choice that
it is weird that Tourette's is like one of the side effects is twitches, and another side effect is like being racist. Like that's like a
well, right? It's two things that don't let you host the Oscars.
Yeah. But anyway, so but tonight, when we're talking about the Oscars, I don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully, someone like someone will punch
gonna
something.
happen.
You know what I mean?
Someone's going to be singing, and a fire is going to start, and they're all going to have to evacuate the building.
Harrison Ford's going to fucking kick Timothy Chalamet in the nuts.
Dolby Theater is going to be in flames. Yeah, it's going to be something crazy. Yeah,
they're just going to announce the winner, and it's just going to be like that racist movie from the 30s.
Yeah,
what's it called?
Gone with the Wind.
No, the Nation one. What's it?
I don't know.
What's it called?
Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation.
Right,
yeah, fucking, he knew that quickly.
Right. That's funny.
Birth of a Nation, 1932, classic.
He's playing it over there.
Oh, I was wondering why Fonzie suddenly was smart. But
yeah, no, there's gonna be some batshit thing. They're gonna try to do a Top Gun reenactment, and the plane's just gonna crash into the theater, and it's gonna kill thousands. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
So
and they're gonna be like, "We're looking into this." That's my favorite when they're like, "We're looking into this." I was like, "What? We all saw it. What are you looking into?"
Will Smith is gonna be in there with like a Hannibal Lecter muzzle.
We're definitely looking into what happened when we only nominated white people for it. We're looking. What are you looking into? Yeah.
Well, did they nominate? Let me see. Let's see the
crack.
Let's see the list today. Did they nominate any black movies? Well, here's the thing. I don't like to always say the Oscars are racist, but Nope was a pretty good movie. I thought it had a lot of layers and depth.
For sure.
And I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but I'm going to say if you nominate Top Gun Maverick, which is a fun movie.
Which I will say, I just watched that on a plane.
It's fun.
Top Gun, I was having a great fucking time.
It is fun.
And especially because when you're on a plane, every movie is better. Have you had this experience?
Of course. Low expectations.
Low expectations, but also the altitude. And you're kind of
a little dumber.
You're a little dumber. You're kind of aware that this might be your last ride or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're just enjoying life. Yeah.
You're also like it's better than just staring out the window and thinking about the failures of my life.
Wild Wild West on a plane, and I was like, this is one of the best movies ever. I watched it on the return also, and I was like, this holds up.
The two things.
Yeah, I've never seen it on the ground. I know I would hate it.
The two things that fuck you up is plane, like your opinions watching a movie on a plane, and when you're depressed. Mm-hmm. When I was depressed for like years, I tried to make a case that Jumanji 2 was the greatest movie of all time.
I never saw Jumanji 2.
Because I saw it when I was like suicidal.
Is Robin Williams in it?
No, he's not. I think he was dead at that point. But like, sure. I was just really depressed when I saw it, and I was just like, I'm like, Jumanji 2.
This speaks to me.
It's like, I mean, it is a good movie, but I'm like, this will keep you from suicide.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, if you're sad, like and you're heartbroken or whatever, and you listen to songs and you're like, well, that's poetry. Yeah. Because that guy's sad and I'm sad.
Yeah. It's just like anything. It's just anything. But like, and then Planes, for a while, I legitimately thought M. Night Shyamalan's Old was like a really good movie because I saw it on a plane.
No, of course. But watching Top Gun on a plane was awesome because it's just nice. Like, obviously, we talk about movies plenty. We like shit where there's like nuance and empathy. We've talked about this shit before, but there is something nice of just basic gut good versus evil. Just there's the enemy and we gotta drop a drone on them. Yeah. And then being like fucking John Hamm being like, you will never fly planes again, Tom Cruise. Robots do it now. And he's like, we'll see about that. Just exactly what is going to happen in every scene. at the start of it, and you're 100% right, and it's a fucking great
and
ride.
it has that 80s thing where like John Hamm, there's no motivation for him to be this mean.
None.
Like none. There's
He's just a dick.
It's not helping the Corps. It's not helping the military.
He's just a fucking guy standing in the way of our fucking hero. He
just does not like
It's a fucking movie. Whatever you want to say about him, the guy's a movie star. And he's so fun to watch.
But here's the thing. The other reason the movie's good is because it knows it's dumb and it leans in.
Yes.
And that's important.
Yes.
Like, that's not always true for dumb movies. That movie leans in like Fast and the Furious.
Right.
I mean, he's going to space in the beginning. Like, he's going, they're not even hiding it. He's like in an astronaut suit.
No.
He's going to space.
It rules. Yeah. No, it's very fun. And it's not... Right. I guess that's a good point. It's not taking itself seriously. It is fully what it is.
Yes.
And it's just a fucking fun
It is
ride.
a very fun movie. I still think not nominating Nope, but nominating Top Gun Maverick.
But again, this is what's funny when they do these award shows. Somebody's getting assaulted on stage.
Yeah.
They're picking hosts who just got out of prison. You know what I mean? Like, it's anarchy here.
It is anarchy, and it does make me think, because Top Gun is, I think, out of any movie ever nominated, the least like trying to get nominated movie. Like, it's not even have that as it's like, it's just trying to be a fun movie. They didn't have a nomination thought in their head. And I think at this point the option almost like saying, look, nothing matters. All that prestige shit was a joke. We're all fucking children here. A fun movie is the best we can offer.
Well, they're going back and forth. They have no idea what they're doing, so it's awesome.
Yeah,
because it's like they're trying to do. They were trying to be the like Indie Spirit Awards a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it was every year it would be like lowest ratings ever, 19 viewers or whatever. Yeah, and there would still be a catastrophe or whatever. And so they're like, okay, fine. Do you want? How about a popular award? Remember they were trying that.
Yeah.
That was one disaster where they're like, it's going to be the best picture and the most popular picture, and they're like, fuck you.
Yeah,
and they're like, sorry. We're going to keep marinating on that. We'll keep mulling it over. And so now they're just like, okay, Top Gun and Banshees.
Well, they
and a movie that nine people saw that was screened.
They have to have Top Gun because that's the only movie that wasn't a horror movie that people actually saw in theaters. So they have to have Top Gun just to be like, all right, this is the actual movie that people went to.
You don't have to have anything. It's crazy. It's all crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's so fun. But yes, Nope obviously should have gotten. It got zero, right? It got zero nominations for anything. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's just like, you know,
it's crazy. Yeah.
But you know, Top Gun is very fun, and you know what's interesting about Top Gun, is that like what I liked about it. It was fun, but it also had these. It actually kind of brought up some interesting ideas that they didn't follow through on. About death and aging that they kind of like brought up and then just goes, no, Tom Cruise is going to live forever.
Yeah. Do you really want to see like Tom Cruise turn into like Nicholson in About Schmidt?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna kick back and maybe I'll sponsor an orphan. You don't want to see that. But you want to see him fly that fucking plane.
You do want to see it, but it is interesting because
you want to see that's the uranium enrichment site, and you want to see him fucking bomb the shit out. But there is, you know,
and I said this before on the other podcast. Was Tom Cruise's whole career now is a death wish thing. That's also about him wanting to live forever. He's like 82. He's jumping out of planes without parachutes. And we're all kind of... He has to do his own stunts. That's very important.
Yeah.
Because he has to live in this denial that he's never going to die.
Yeah.
And then we all cheer him on in that denial.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we cheer on Trump. Like people who... Not we, but the people who cheer on Trump. They're like, yeah, he'll never get COVID. He's immortal.
Sure.
We cheer him on. And in this movie, there is this issue where there's a young generation.
Right.
And for a moment, he has to reflect, do I have to step back and be the teacher? And then at the movie, at the end, they're like, nah.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah.
It would be like if in Creed, you see Creed?
Yeah.
Where it's like, so in the Creed, so like, okay, Rocky is now the trainer or whatever.
Yeah.
But if in that, he was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, he just goes into the ring.
Push Michael B. Jordan out of the way. He's like, I got this.
It is true. Because at the end, I like Creed. At the end, he's like, fucking, Stallone's getting like an IV. Yeah. It's like amazing.
That's right. I forgot they give him cancer.
But this is literally like Tom Cruise refusing, because the whole teacher thing. And then they have the scene where really is where the question is, are they going to develop this? They have what I think is actually very powerful. They have Val Kilmer now, who's the opposite of Tom Cruise. He doesn't have a mouth. Like, he's just like riddled with cancer. And there's where you see the real age behind Hollywood. And he's talking to voice box. He's like, you should let him, do it. And then Tom Cruise is like, I just don't think he's ready. Which is really Tom Cruise saying, I'm not ready. to accept the teacher role, right?
But get that nuance out of Top Gun. That's a worthy discussion, but that ain't for this shit.
No, of course.
100%.
If I directed the movie, it would literally been Tom Cruise not in the third act. He's like, I can't go.
Right.
And no one would watch it.
And the movie would have made $50 if it was even finished. That's not a smart
producer. It would have had $600 million and it would have made $50.
A smart producer would have been like, we got to fire you.
I couldn't even get all my siblings to see it. Only 2 of them and my parents. But you're
100% right. That would have been more interesting.
But this is like denial.
Deny it.
And that's, I think, why Top Gun is hitting a note. It is the nostalgia for, it's not the nostalgia for Top Gun, I don't think. Maybe for some people, but most people aren't like, the movie treats it like Top Gun is like a Marvel thing where they're like, ooh, that's a character from the original. It's like weird. It's like, no one cares that much.
Everything is in the like, everything is a universe. That's in the Top Gun original universe.
Literally,
Like,
the woman in it is literally a character just mentioned in the first one. It's like insane. It's like there are no Top Gun nerds. Like it's not. I mean,
whatever.
But what it is nostalgic for is actually like real effects. You know what I mean? It's like not CGI. I think people's love of this movie is also their animosity towards CGI, because CGI is like, we all acted like that was cool, and now we've just been watching blue goblins jump around, and it's just been like a cartoon this whole time.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
It's just, you're just watching some planes fly around.
And they're in it. They were literally in it, which was unnecessary.
Yeah, unnecessary. Well, none of this is needed in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not pensive. It's not whatever. It's just
like Tom Cruise doesn't actually need to do his own stunts. That doesn't like actually like make the movie any different. But they just do it because that's part
fun.
of it. Yeah,
it's just part of the mystique.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
but now I really want to talk,
and that's why it's like, you could say, oh, whatever, they just made this big stupid thing or whatever, but he cared enough. To jump out of the plane.
He cared enough. He cares enough. We're all goading him on his denial of death, narcissistic journey, and it's fun. It's fun.
And you know what? That's
maybe
fine.
He will live forever.
He deserves his own planet or whatever he's getting. With that right?
Now, his own planet. No. That's the Mormons. But he gets, I don't know what he gets, but I
don't know. I think he gets like a store or something. Like a restaurant.
He gets a county. He doesn't get his own planet, but he gets like a county.
A town, yeah.
He gets to be alderman of a county. But it's a little lower expectation. It's more realistic program.
Right, yeah, it's something.
But let's talk about everything all at once.
Yes.
Because I saw this movie last night.
You just saw it, yeah.
I just saw it. When it came out, everyone said it was the greatest movie ever, which is like the sure tell sign a movie's bad.
I was sure you were going to hate it.
Everyone's like, I asked people, they'd be like, oh, it's really good. And then I always ask this question. I go, would I like it?
Right.
And they say no.
Right.
And I'm a narcissist. So I'm like, I guess that's a real opinion. Like it's not good. You know what I mean? But
no. Well, that's not why I thought you wouldn't like it. I thought you wouldn't like it because, in the same reason that I sometimes am with things, if something is very overhyped before I see it, then I'm kind of like, all right, let's see what the big deal is. And if I see something before I hear all that hype, I'm just like, oh, I like that thing.
Yes, exactly. You thought I wouldn't like it because I'm inauthentic, like all of us.
I'm not inauthentic,
but like expectations.
You're like angry and like frustrated.
Have to be unique.
Like devil's advocate, like bitter at the success of others. Assume that everybody else is dumb. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. But, and you're not wrong with some of those things.
No. But let me say though, if you feel like a movie gets overhyped and you see you don't like it, instead of seeing it, stew with that hatred for a couple months. Because then what happens is you watch it and you were so expecting to hate it. You reverse the situation. You reverse the expectation. I thought I was going to hate it. I had my finger on the remote to turn it off after 10 minutes.
Right.
I got the remote.
You
it starts.
Ready. Yeah.
A bunch of Asians. I'm like, let's turn this off quickly. Let's go. Let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? And
it's funny how it starts. And you're like, I searched Twitter. I haven't tweeted anything that bad. And you're like, I started this with a bunch of Asian people.
Well, I mean,
I know, I'm kidding.
But
go ahead.
So I'm watching with my girlfriend. She saw it. She said she cried during it. I was thinking of breaking up with her after she said it. She's sitting there. This is before I'd seen the movie. We're watching it, and first of all, it is a little. There's this one moment in the beginning that I just love so much. You have a movie where there's a moment that you just like so much, that you just fucking. You're like, all right. It's the moment where the mother is getting in a fight with the daughter, and she comes outside in the beginning to try to like console her.
Yeah.
And she goes up to her in a tone of being like, you know, I'm sorry for everything. She goes, you look fat.
Yeah.
And she
really
can't help herself.
Yeah, it was really funny.
And it's a hilarious moment.
Yeah.
And there's like I mean, it just feels like a real Chinese family, and it feels like archetypal but very real.
Yeah.
And she seems great. And then, I mean, I don't know.
And that's also recognizable in other cultures and stuff. And that's
my mom said that to me today. Yeah. In an Asian accent, which made it even worse. You look fat.
But it's fun. But I think that does go into a thing where it's like the specificity is more universal in some ways, where it's like you see that and you're like, oh, that's the same. That's a Jewish family thing. That's like a million cultures that applies.
Yes. And so I just liked it right away. And there's all these interesting details of the life. So I'm watching, but I know there's going to have this fucking shit come up that I hate. I hate the multiverse shit, but I only know the multiverse shit from the fucking Marvel bullshit.
Sure.
And that's just, I just fucking hate Marvel. It's just like, for me in the multiverse, the problem is there's no finality. Someone dies and they come back 12 minutes later.
Yeah, there's no.
It's just like, takes away any, a big part of narrative is you need death. I really do think like, if a character dies, they need to die. Otherwise, then it's not mirroring life.
No, well, it's just, it's so hard to get people emotionally invested in a thing. And it's so hard for like you yourself to become emotionally invested that when you do, you want to be invested.
You want to have
and when they fuck with you. That's my least favorite thing when a movie does that, when they fuck with you.
This is fake. We know it's fake.
It's like,
the whole point is us trying to forget it's fake.
Yeah, we're buying into this. That's why I paid money to watch it.
Yeah,
I wanted this pretend reality for a second.
I'm not insane. I know I'm in a movie theater.
Exactly. And that's a thing that is getting more popular. With like art just
the new Scream is just talking about like the plot
or just like you know, a performance, like one person shows when they're like, I wrote all this before, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not a baby.
No, it's like we're not insane. We don't need to, like, we know we're watching a movie. We're trying to momentarily forget. And so not forget forever. We're not going to go out of there and be like, it was crazy that giant gorilla in that room. You know what I mean? Like, we're momentarily, and you're ruining it. Yeah.
No, when they do that, when they're like, aha, you thought all that was the reality. And I'm like, yeah, because you presented that to me as the reality.
Yeah, no.
I'm not like, gotcha. And you're like, why'd you waste my time?
Yeah,
like,
and we're not like, we're not tricked like we thought it was real. We're just tricked because we assumed this would be a good movie. We're tricked.
The dream thing is my favorite version of that.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie when they're like, it was all a dream. And I'm like, it was already made up.
Yeah. It was already a dream.
You're just saying like, and it was super made up.
It was super made up. It was super not real.
Okay. Cool. You got me. Yeah.
I wasn't like, whoa, you're saying the lion in Wizard of Oz wasn't real?
So the pretend thing was like extra pretend.
Wait, you're saying those flying monkeys?
That a person dreamed this fake stuff that I already knew was fake.
Yeah.
But it's one more. Okay, cool.
And then why is Dorothy so surprised those people are in the dream? That's how dreams work. Oh my God, I had a dream and the only people I ever knew were kind of in it. But so that's annoying, and that's all the shit. But then I'm watching it. It is tough at first because, you know, what's his name? The husband. His accent's a little thick. And I tried to do closed caption. Yeah. But they're bilingual in the movie. So the closed caption was over the... So I couldn't do that. And then
whole screen's covered. Yeah.
The whole screen's covered. But then when he starts saying all the rules, I couldn't do the closed caption. But his accent's so thick, it was tough. It was like, oh, it's the universe. I'm like, but then I realized I just let it. I just accepted the fact I wasn't going to understand it. Yeah. And as it kept on going, and I got into the rhythm of it, I embraced the rhythm of it. I started to see it, and I started to find it like it was using the multiverse in a different way than I thought it was going to be used. Yeah, I thought it was going to be used in some stupid, like nerdy time. It's all emotional. Yeah, and it's all basically the themes of the relationships under the surface being examined in a surreal way. Yeah, no, it's very much like, I forget the phrase of like when the form informs the content or whatever, whatever the phrase is for that. But it's like, it doesn't feel like just a lot of like flashy bullshit just for flashy bullshit's sake. It feels like an emotional extension of the story in a cool way. I really liked it. It is a new way of telling like a story, and it's, I don't know, the multiverse shit was getting complicated for a while. It was definitely, but then it doesn't matter. But then there is a point that when it gets into the nihilism with the villain, the daughter, that stuff is very interesting. And then it gets into something that is like really the source of depression versus being in the moment, which is that like when you're present to your own reality, the joy or whatever, the meaning in life you have being present with this world. And depression or nihilism just disconnects you from this world and you see every possibility and none of it matters. And that is a pretty powerful metaphor, I thought, for trying to be present and trying to be grateful. And I feel like that was like, well, I thought it was well executed. I thought the sort of surrendering to the, because I was also like, all right, I'm kind of losing what's going on with the multiverse shit. But then when you sort of let that go, you let it go.
You let it go, and you're like, okay, and you just sort of experience it. That's when I started to. Yeah, I'm glad I saw it in a theater, and I really, really enjoyed it.
I mean, there are some powerful things in it. I mean, when she's as a rich actress, and the husband is kind of like, I guess, some kind of successful person. They're in that, and he goes, I would have loved to live a life with you where we just did laundry and taxes. There's something very powerful about that while they're dressed in this elegant manner. And like there is a lot to do with failure. And I realize after watching what it is the Asian It's a Wonderful Life, pretty much in its own way. It's like, it's like someone who's not happy with their life, dreaming that they could have had much other things. And by the end, having a bout of nihilism and kind of coming back with gratitude, but still an ounce of nihilism at the end. I think that last shot when you hear her hearing all the voices, it's like showing she had growth. She fought through nihilism to get to the other side, but there's still that voice in her that goes, none of this really matters. There's billions of different universes. You know?
And that's kind of fun because that's I guess what I like with that is that's like it feels like a fresher, nicer twist on like. You know, there's a billion like fucking love letters to Hollywood every year, which is essentially that's what that is. It's sort of this wish fulfillment and escape from reality within the story. And, you know, where they're the stand-ins for us and just like, wow, you could escape into this big magical world. But what a movie like that does well, and It's a Wonderful Life too, and some others is like that added layer of like, realizing the emptiness of all those multiverses, you know, or not, or just that it doesn't provide that full fulfillment, you know, and trying to find that within yourself and the experience.
But having to really get to that point, you have to travel to the dark side and see all the options.
Everything.
And see that it doesn't matter, and then go back to your life with more strength.
It was everything that I would not have wanted to see in Top Gun. But I was glad it existed here.
Well, this is very much not. I mean, to me, it's very much. I mean, even though it is a fun movie, and there's really fun shit in it. The raccoon on the head is great.
No, it was great. It was just a great. It's just like a fun movie experience. It's not even one of those where it's like, look, it's slow or it's a drag, but you got to sit through it.
No,
you know
no, it is a fun, but it is.
You saw it. Look, I would watch it again.
It does have legitimate depth and growth, but like a modern, you know, growth of like.
That'll probably win the thing, right? I haven't seen half of these, but
I mean, I want to end talking about Banshees, which I did love.
Yeah, I did too.
But like, I do think everything. I don't know. I think it has a shot, and I would be okay with it winning. I mean, there are things in it.
Right?
Yeah, it depends on if there's. It depends if there's more Jewish hate crimes or Asian hate crimes. Because if there's more Jewish hate crimes, Fabelmans will win, and if there's more Asian hate crimes, Everything Everywhere All at Once will win.
Sure.
And we just had that synagogue shooting that Spielberg probably orchestrated to get the Oscar. So right now, Fabelmans is up, but you know, maybe there'll be.
That guy really needs one more trophy.
Maybe there'll be like some horrible Asian shooting, and he'll win the Oscar.
You ever watch Jiminy Glick?
Yeah.
Martin Short's character. My favorite Jiminy Glick thing he did is he's talking to Spielberg, and he's like, "When are you gonna do the big one?" He's like, "The big one?" He's like, "The one that really clicks with the band." Like, I'd love to see it because I think you're good. You know, he does that like little condescending chat.
That reminds me of what I've probably talked about this. What I consider the greatest like Jewish joke is a thing incidental, not even on purpose, but the greatest Jewish parent joke ever is in Wild Man Blues, where Woody Allen visits his parents at the end. He's about 70.
Yeah, they're 90s.
They're 90. And the mother says to him with a straight face, "I still think you should have been a pharmacist."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it comes to the Oscars.
It's got like 15 Oscars. Yeah.
But I mean, I would be happy with winning because it's not to me, it's not a shallow movie. I mean, there are people loved it the way they love shallow movies a lot of times.
Sure.
And it is sleek in a way that could be similar.
Yeah.
But there is.
Well, it's tough because it's like A24 puts out movies that a lot of which are great, and that's why they have that cool brand. But then they also put out a lot of movies that look very similar, have a similar aesthetic, but they are very bad.
Yes.
And they're very bad movies doing impressions of very good movies.
Right.
Because they have the same like color grading, cinematography, everything like that, and vibe or whatever, music.
Yeah.
And it's like, just because there's Frank Ocean music or whatever, this is not
exactly
cool. This is trash.
This is trash, right?
It's complete trash.
But then people love it.
People love it the same. So then it gets tougher to distinguish.
It's hard to distinguish. And then eventually everyone is like,
because people love.
Eventually everyone's like, all right, maybe Knives Out wasn't the masterpiece we thought it was.
But by that point, it's a franchise and they've made $1 trillion. So it's like, no, it's very tough now. If you're a bad thing doing an impression of something that is good, you can get incredibly popular and acclaimed.
That is stand-up now. But it does have depth. It does have depth with her trying to protect her daughter from nihilism, but also sharing in the nihilism and accepting it. And them two talking as rocks is pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the stuff with the father, him explaining that his optimism isn't him being an idiot, but a strategy for survival. There's some real shrewd commentary in the movie, and yeah, I was really impressed by it. But I do want to talk about my favorite movie of the year, which is Banshees. Banshees is everything Top Gun doesn't do. Top Gun is a fun.
I would love
Tom
to see.
Cruise is going to live forever.
I would love to see Tom Cruise as Banshees. I would send that script to Cruise and see. I just want to see the Tom Cruise pass on that and see what he thinks needs to happen.
You like Banshees, right?
I liked it, and I don't love everything he's done. I did not like 3 Billboards.
Oh, I hated 3 Billboards.
I did not like it one bit.
Yeah, well, no, it's like it was completely just ridiculous, broad. Didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. I really, and again, like the logic stuff, I'm okay putting it to the side.
Not when everyone says it's like the best movie of the year. That,
and also if a thing takes itself seriously, then I'm gonna take it seriously.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And so, like, you know, just to go to TV for a second, but like White Lotus, like the ending of it is funny, so I don't care that a million plot lines don't pay off, because it's funny at the end. If something's funny, I forgive it all.
You mean the fact that there was literally no reason for the gay people to take her on that whole trip?
Yeah,
they could have just killed her immediately.
There's no resolution for any of it,
but it's no reason.
Funny ending.
It's an amazing ending.
It's a funny ending, so I don't care. Like, I don't care.
I've got this. So it's classic.
Yeah. So again, so it's like, if you're gonna make me laugh, then it's fine. But if you're like framing it as like this is a serious thing,
exactly, and
this is supposed to be like actual commentary on these people's relationships or why that bad cop suddenly became good.
Right.
Like, I'm cool with characters changing or not changing, but if they do change, it has to be like motivated.
Yes.
And I have to buy the emotional logic for why they're changing. And I never bought it. I don't know.
It's like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's a fun show.
Yeah.
But if you're going to tell me it's up there with Sopranos and The Wire, I'm going to tell you have identical twin hitmen who walk together side by side and having a helicopter explode behind them. That ain't exactly The Wire. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, 3 Billboards. Also, the thing about 3 Billboards that was so stupid that, like, if she's gonna be that vigilante where she's gonna like blow up the police station because they're not motivated enough to find. Maybe she would just go and find the killer herself if she's prepared to blow up the police station. You know what I mean?
Not totally.
No, I still got to work within the law.
And then she like drives off with
it's insane.
Top at the
But Banshee is Irish, back to what she's the best at, and it's like I don't know if you've read his early plays, but it's similar to that.
No.
But I love Banshees. I mean, it is broad.
Yeah.
And it is like there's some cartoony elements, but that's the tone.
Sure, but yeah, I bought into the tone.
I bought into
way,
the tone
way more.
immediately.
It didn't feel like forced or shoehorned to me. It felt like the relationship was pretty natural.
I also just think it's a new conflict. It was a unique conflict to me. The idea of two friends,
Yeah.
one of them not wanting to be friends with someone suddenly.
No, yeah, and especially of like older people also. We're very used to,
Well,
like,
also,
they're old, so it's like, I don't know, I guess they're dying. You know what I mean? So it's like that's really the only conflict, And so, but them just dealing with their relationship felt pretty. I don't know. Yeah, it felt pretty like authentic and like lived in. I guess.
Authentic, lived in, and also it's one of those movies that's sad because life is sad. It's not sad because of like a specific problem outside of just mortality itself.
Sure.
Like it's a sad movie because life is a sad thing.
And I think that's something like, not to generalize it too much because I'm sure a lot are bad at it, but I feel like playwrights probably have more pressure to do that, to make you care about the actual relationships on the stage, because they can't outsource the conflict to like the big special effects of like, there's an apocalypse, or the world is ending.
Distractions.
That. Like just the noise around
There's no
it.
distractions.
So all you have is the two of us in a room. What is our conflict?
Yes.
At the core. And then whatever, you could put us in a living room or whatever, but ultimately that's all there is.
But,
and so coming from that, it's like I felt that.
Well, you're entertaining. To me, it's like, yes, it's bare, and I find that entertaining right away because it's like so like a simple conflict right away that you can grab onto.
And once you care, like again, it's like if I don't care about anybody, in those apocalyptic movies, like everybody on the earth is dead. But I'm not sad about any of it because I don't know any of them. I don't care. None of it matters to me.
Yeah.
But then I'll watch a movie where like you see some relationship that developed, and I'll fucking cry when the volleyball floated away and cast away.
Right. Right.
Or I think we've talked about that one. Yeah. Or like or Bubba Gump. Well, when he dies.
Right.
Whenever Tom Hanks loses something.
It's all Tom Hanks.
If he's sad for a minute, I'm stopping.
Right. I mean,
but you know what I mean? It's like
those movies are more entertaining. That's what you're saying. They're more entertaining than the fucking.
Well, it's just rooted in the relationship, unless you're Tom Cruise flying a plane. This is the one exception, the outlier to everything.
Yeah, and you got to have all sorts of movies, and the Oscars have a varied group here. You know what I mean? And they even have that movie Woman Talking that no one saw because it's called Women Talking. What producer? I'm not saying I feel this way, but what producer looks at the society that's so sexist and thinks we'll make a lot of money on a movie called Women Talking?
My friend texted me some joke, so I'll give him the credit or whatever. But he was like, here's a joke they would never use the Oscars. She's like, a lot of great movies this year. Women Talking. She said, brother, all I'm hearing is white noise.
That's good. Yeah.
That's how you throw that of like, she said, women talking. Sounds like a lot of Babylon to me.
But so, to me, Banshees, and what really moved me ultimately, thinking back on it, because it's an entertaining, interesting conflict. Someone just really going against the routines of his life, which is like he goes to a bar, he does the same thing every day, he has his friend. Him suddenly going, I don't want to be friends with you. And then your first thought is like, it's a little too late for this.
Sure.
And then you realize at a certain point, or what connected to me is there's a very sad, really depressing thing going on with Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah.
Almost to a point of a delusion or a denial. Similar to Top Gun, there is a denial of death where he thinks, I still have time to matter. And it's this guy who's distracting me.
Right.
As opposed to just, no, I've wasted my life on in this
like
town in Ireland.
Remote,
he blames it on someone else. And to me, that's so human. To be like, God, if I just wasn't talking to this guy, I'd be a world famous musician.
It is crazy how much people hang on until what late stage that you're willing to like outsource the blame for everything. And that is, if only that guy, if only I hadn't done this, if I didn't work with him, if I wasn't around that person, it's all if only. And it's the depths people go to avoid any self-reflection.
Yes.
Is like staggering.
And to me, that is top shelf art to me.
Sure.
As much as I like a movie about like oppression.
Sure.
To me, like, I like the movies that get to the heart of shit, which is like time is running out. What kind of narrative do we create not to deal with that? And that to me is like, I don't know if you've ever like the Chekhov play Uncle Vanya, but it's this guy who basically helps out his father-in-law for years. His father-in-law is like a full of shit professor.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's blaming the father-in-law for him wasting his life. And he goes, I could have been Dostoevsky. I could have been Schopenhauer. And it's like, that is so human and so tragic.
On the waterfront.
Yeah.
I could have been a contender.
It's like maybe, or maybe you just, you know.
I could have had class. I could have been somebody.
Really? Because you feel like you're always going to be a longshoreman. But okay, but so like blaming someone else for your shit, and then like thinking, I'll make this great music,
right?
And then the first time I watched it, I did think the finger cutting off. At first, I was like, this is gratuitous. This is that distraction,
right?
But there is a key line at the end where he's at the priest, and the priest goes, "Do you still feel that despair?" You realize, I think on some level, cutting off the fingers for him is him taking away the pressure of having to create great music because he knows it ain't going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the only thing was missing. It's like you just get him in a fighter jet and then see what he could do without his friend. Could he be what Teller couldn't be, you know?
That's
no,
true.
I really did enjoy it. I thought, and I went in, and maybe this goes back to, I went in with very low expectations.
Yes.
Because
so many people loved it?
Well, no, because I didn't like 3 Billboards. So it was like, he's gonna be up his own ass, and it's gonna be like funnier than, or it's gonna be, I feel like a lot of filmmakers, like directors who get credited as being like, oh, and they're funny too. You know what I mean? I'm like, are they? You know, when they're like Jojo Rabbit, like, that's the comedy of the year.
It's like the way literally every novel ever written, the blurb is like painfully funny, and you're like, there's not one joke in this.
That's why I feel like a lot of movies also that get credited as like, it's like, this is really funny. I'm like what? I don't even know where the joke was supposed to be.
But no, but it is hilarious. I mean, I thought it was hilarious. I mean,
I was really into it. Yeah.
I mean, when I
want to read at least one of his plays now.
Oh, her early plays are great. Beauty Queen of Lenaine. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Cripple.
Yeah, whatever the shortest one is. I'll read it.
I'll send it to you. They're really great.
Yeah.
He also, hilarious. I mean, when he asks his sister if he's dim, and she's like, no.
Yeah.
It had that Coen Brothers kind of rhythm.
Maybe he'll win like director. Oh, Tar. I liked.
You like Tar?
I did.
I wish we had more time. Do we have a minute?
Are we out of time?
Okay to have a minute or two, or someone win? 2 minutes. 2 minutes? All right, we'll do Tar quickly.
You didn't like it? I thought, I went in expecting to hate it. I thought it was like pretty well directed. Really well directed. The editing I thought it was edited cut in a very cool way, where it's like you're not seeing any of the action. You're seeing the story move in a way where you have to keep up with it. And the scene when it's like, first of all, it's very fun when she's like, oh, I don't read anything about myself, and you see her just like name searching herself all the time on Twitter. I'm like, that's crazy human. But then also when it's coming out about her, the accusations or whatever, and she's got like another young girl on the road that she's clearly going to try to do something with. And the girl's like, oh no, I'm just going to go to my room. And then she sticks her head out, and the girl's like, you know, dressed all nice and is sneaking out into the elevator, and she's just like clearly avoiding Kate Blanchett. Like, it's just like, there's a lot of like very subtle, funny shit in it that, I don't know. I was into it way more than I thought I would be. I want to watch it. Really liked it.
I wanted to watch it again. I thought it was just way too boring.
You watched it at home probably, right?
Yeah. No, I thought it in theaters, actually. I thought it was boring, and I don't know. I guess I didn't think it was that funny. I guess I was wishing it'd be funnier. It felt very...
I didn't think it was that funny. I'm just saying, but I thought there were like moments. I don't know. It was long, but I did not think... I was not like constantly...
Well, it's a quiet movie. I think you like kind of quieter movies like that, understated.
Maybe, but also it could still. Those could still bore me to tears. Yeah. But that one, there are ones that I power through because I know it'll be like worth it, and there are ones like that where I was like, I was just enjoying it. I thought the opening, the interview thing, really strong. Yeah.
I want to rewatch his first movie, In the Bedroom, is amazing. I don't know if you've seen it, but check that out. All right, where can they find you?
At Dan J. Perlman on Instagram. You know, I'm at the Kennedy Center. If any of you are in DC or know anybody,
check
February 16th, please get tickets.
Oh yeah,
At Dan J. Perlman, and just please follow. I'm trying road to 1 million. Road to 1 million followers. We're going to try to get to this month.
Okay, all right. So that you're pretty close, right? What are you at?
8,000.
8,000. He's almost there. You know what I mean? Just a couple more, and
dot some I's, cross some T's.
And yeah, well, thank you so much for doing this. And I had questions, but I'll answer them on the next episode. But thank you all so much for listening and tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Don't go flipping or whatever.